My mom would say, if everybody was running and jumping off a cliff, would you do the same? Duh. Yes.
Man Up with Mark. You may agree with him, and again, you may not.
I'm kind of an old fogey when it comes to this realm of podcasting. But what's funny is podcasting in general has not been around that long. Of course, a lot of you that are out there absorbing all of this information and listening to podcasts and watching these podcasts, video podcasts, however you want to term them, you're in your early 20s, 30s, and, podcasts have always been around. So what's the big deal? Well, it is kind of a big deal because before podcasts, you really had radio and television. And
what's radio again?
What's on TV?
That was your entertainment medium. But I think it was 2003, 2004, podcasts came to be. Now, they were audio podcasts, and as the years went on, they turned into video podcasts. But when you think about it,
I try not to think about it.
Radio and TV, they've been around since dirt, like me. But podcasts really are relatively young. So I thought, you know what? Why not give it a shot?
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Let me give you a brief little timeline of podcasts. In 2003, this fella named Christopher Lydon, he's the one that came up with podcasts. He's the one that created this RSS feed that you need to have in order to do audio podcasts. That was 2003. In 2004, the actual first podcast was aired. And that basically was a recording tape of an interview from Lydon talking about several different subjects. Also, in 2004, the very first podcasting platform or podcasting network came to be, and the name of that service was called Libsyn or Libsyn. It makes no sense to me, but that's what it was called. In 2005, podcast was the word of the year, according to some dictionary, the Oxford Dictionary or the Webster's Dictionary, one of those dictionaries. Also, in 2005, George W. Bush was the first president to broadcast a weekly podcast. In 2006, Steve Jobs of Apple fame showed how to use their program, GarageBand, to create a podcast. From 2006 to 2010, all sorts of podcasts came to be. All sorts of people started making podcasts, whether they be audio, video, they all started doing it. When I mean they all, I mean they all.
They started it.
People started jumping on this like flies on a big pile of poo-poo. In 2011, Adam Carolla, great guy, watches podcasts quite often. It's funny, stand-up comedian. I don't know if you guys know Adam Carolla. He's done lots of stuff. Him and Jimmy Kimmel had The Man Show for several years. He was also a radio disc jockey. I think he had a thing called Loveline in L.A., that him and another fella, a doctor, Dr. Drew, I think that's his name, Dr. Drew. At any rate, they had a radio show called Loveline for, again, several years. But Adam Carolla created a podcast, and in 2011, he made the Guinness World Book of Records by the most downloads for a podcast, over 59 million downloads. In 2014, NPR launched their podcast format for the radio show This American Life. In 2014, that's when the true crime podcasts came to be, And boy, did listenerships go up.
Every true crime story.
People like to listen to people get killed, or stories about how people get killed. In 2015, Marc Maron interviewed President Barack Obama. In 2017, Amazon Prime premiered the first television show based on a popular podcast, Lore. And in 2020, that was the year that everybody talks about when it comes to podcasting. That's the year when Joe Rogan made the deal with Spotify for over $200 million.
How much?
Reportedly. Ever since then, podcasts have just been going haywire. They've been going crazy. So, I thought, why not? I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon, give it a shot.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
I hope you like that quick little history lesson.
You used to hate history, didn't you?
I know that I may have missed a lot of stuff, but in general, that's kind of how it flowed. So I hope you guys will join me every weekday, Monday through Friday, to listen to what may fall out of this mouth, right here, this mouth, this big old stupid mouth. And we'll see what happens. As always, please like, subscribe, ring that stupid bell so that all of the algorithms and all of the podcast platforms know that you're out there and that you want to listen or that you want to watch. Also, if you have any comments or suggestions or ideas for any podcasts, like any topics that you would like to talk about, email them to me, to mark@manupwithmark.com. Also, you can always go to my website and check out any of the podcasts that you've missed in the past. So, until tomorrow, I hope that air conditioning sound didn't bug the shit out of you. It was bugging the hell out of me. I'm going to be curious if you guys can hear it. So, at any rate, till tomorrow, see ya.
If you have a question or comment, email Mark at manupwithmark.com.